But I can prove to you. White people, when you swear, you sound like donkeys. You do, because you'll say stuff like, fuck off. Bullshit. You talk funny, man. It's okay. This is a nice room tonight, you know. It's all kinds of different people here. I love that. When I look out in the audience, I see black, white, Asian, just everybody having a good time, hanging out. Brown. We fall under Asian as well. South. But it's nice, you know, different mix of audience like this, and people at home, different kinds of people enjoying this in their living room or wherever. This type of thing's not going to be able to happen in about 300 years from now. Do you realize that? Because you realize that? If we make it to 300 years from now. Do you realize there's not going to be any more white people? Not going to be any more black people? Everybody's going to be beige. And I don't care, I'm already beige, you know what I mean? It's not going to affect me at all. But it's true, the whole world's mixing. There's nothing you can do about it. Eventually, we're all going to become some sort of hybrid mix of Chinese and Indian. It's inevitable. They're the two largest populations in the world. So you could run from us now. But sooner or later, we're going to hump you. And I'm thinking if we're already going to mix anyway, we should start mixing now, you know? You know, ladies, take some chances. Sleep around a bit, you know? If you see that Indian comedian that you really want to have sex with, I say go for it. But it's true, the whole world's mixing, you know? And eventually, everybody will look the same. But I'm thinking if we're all going to mix anyway, let's start mixing people now that would never normally mix. Just to see what we'll get. You know, hook up a Jamaican with an Italian. They could have little pastafarians, you know? I'm Indian, I could hook up with a Jewish girl, we could have little Hindus. Get a woman from the Philippines, a guy from Holland, little jalapenos. Guy from Cuba, a woman from Iceland, little ice cubes. A French and a Greek, freak. German and a Newfie, little goofies. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. We might as well help it along. I used to go out with a Chinese girl. I was wicked going out with a Chinese girl. Could you imagine if her and I had gotten serious? Can you imagine that wedding? You know how much rice would have been at that wedding? Nobody would be allowed to throw it at the bride and groom. Our parents would just freak out. What the hell are you doing? You're wasting the food. I told you not to invite white people to the wedding. They throw the bloody food around. Let's go to their weddings and throw mashed potatoes at them. It's gonna happen, man. My dad's been in this country for 40 years now. 40 years. And you know what's scary? Is I think my dad's turning into a redneck now. I swear to God, he's starting to say stuff that scares me, you know? I walked into my parents' house a couple of weeks ago. My dad was sitting there on the phone. He had the newspaper open in front of him. He had an ad circled. Somebody was selling a couch, right? So my dad's on the phone. He calls the ad. And on the other end of the phone, some Eastern European lady answered, and she couldn't speak any English. And all I hear is, "Hello, I'm calling about your couch." Hello. Hello. I want to know about your couch. Hello. Okay. I've said hello twice. I would like to purchase your couch. And no English. I'm sorry? And no English? Then why the hell did you answer the phone? You don't come to my country if you can't speak the language. Click. My dad looks at me and goes, immigrants. I go, Dad, you're an immigrant. Hey, you watch what you say to me. I think that's one thing that separates immigrant families from the regular Canadian families, you know? Doesn't matter where your parents are from. They weren't born in this country. They will whoop your ass when you're growing up, won't they? It doesn't matter where your parents from. Ukraine, you know what I'm saying? They'll beat you with a cabbage roll. You know what I'm saying? They'll smack a pierogi upside your head if they have to. They'll beat you, right? Immigrant parents will beat their kids. Canadian parents, they're a little too soft on their kids. And that's fine, you know, whatever makes you happy. But you need to start beating your kids. I'll tell you why. Because growing up, kids now are growing up in a multicultural society. You know, you're going to have white kids growing up with black kids and brown kids and Asian kids, and they're all going to be hanging out in the playground. You know what I mean? And they're going to be talking about the ass whooping they got last night. Do you want that little white kid to feel left out? Beat that child so he's not a social outcast. We'll be sitting around, man, my dad beat my ass. My dad beat my ass too. The white kid will be like, I got sent to my room. Well, I'll be like, you've got a room? You need to beat the kids, man. Indian parents will beat their kids. Chinese parents, I would hate to get beaten. Parents know kung fu and stuff, man. I would hate to mess up in a Chinese house, man. Hey, cut this bong. Come here. It says you got an F in school. They wouldn't even need to beat you. They just go, no, Sonny Tay. Indian parents will beat their... Indian parents aren't afraid to kill their kids if they have to, you know? My dad's theory was, if I get rid of one, I'll just make another one. And I will tell the new one what an idiot the last one was. Jamaican parents will beat their kids for no reason sometimes, won't they? Hey, boy, come here. Yes, Daddy? What's that for? Just in case. White people, please beat your kids. I'll tell you why else, because when I was growing up, right, I grew up around a lot of black people, which was fine, because the black people never picked on me. White kids, not so friendly back then. But every now and then, a white kid would come and hang out with us, and we were like, wow, a white kid! I've heard so much about you! And here's where the problem is. When a white kid would hang out with us, we'd want to be like the white kid. We would want to start to do everything like the white kid. We wanted to copy that white kid so much. And the problem is when we would start taking that white kid's advice on how to deal with our parents. That'll get you friggin' murdered, man. I remember hanging around this one little white boy, Ryan, when I was 10 years old. I went to his house after school one day, right? His parents never beat him, and they never even yelled at him. He could do anything he wanted, and nothing was going to happen to him. But he was an angry kid. We walked into his house after school one day, his mom goes, Ryan, go clean your room. Fuck you, bitch!